new book called Gamble is coming out, and it's a sequel to the first book I did called Ambush, where you actually meet a character named Von Crocker, who's a retired DEA agent. Unlike the Von Crocker that you met in Ambush, he becomes very much involved with the Afghan culture, society, and views on war. To do this, he begins to correspond through journals with Ernest Hemingway, who was one of his idols while he was in college, and often read about war that Hemingway wrote about. As he stays in Afghanistan, the longer he stays in Afghanistan, the more he realizes that Hemingway was wrong in his opinion, and he voices this through a series of journals. And through these journals, he talks about the poverty in Afghanistan. He explains some of the culture in Afghanistan and his views on war. The book starts out as a very humorous tale about how he and his wife become close to bankruptcy from gambling, and it slowly evolves into a very dark humor. And as the book ends, the decision has to be made by the writer, as if whether or not he solved this problem and if the gamble of going over to Afghanistan was worth it. With respect to the children on the cover, it's a turning point in the book with the children, as one day he is riding down a street in Kabul with an interpreter, and they see a child playing with a stick, and the child was splashing a mud puddle with a stick. And Crocker says to the interpreter, "Isn't it funny how all children all over the world are the same? You know, they step in puddles, they splash puddles, they hang on their mother's skirts, they hide behind their mothers." And the interpreter replies to him, "Yes, the only difference is when that little kid gets done playing with that stick, he will have to take that stick home so the parents can use it to make dinner that night, to cook and make a fire with that stick." That's a point in the book where Crocker's whole demeanor changes. So, again, as opposed to the Crocker that was in Ambush, we see a whole different side of Crocker, a softer side, a more human side